He was pale, barely conscious, and shaking. I rushed him to the ER thinking only about keeping him alive. But while doctors were saving his life, his coworker was plotting to ruin it. She stalked our house, lied to his boss, tried to get him fired. What she didn't know, we had receipts. And what came next? Corporate karma in its purest, most savage form. If you've ever had a toxic coworker try to sabotage you, this story is going to hit deep. Smash that like button, subscribe for more wild revenge stories, and get comfy, because this one ends with justice being served hot. The breakdown begins. My husband doesn't get sick often. He's one of those people who brushes off every symptom, works through the pain, and just powers through. But this time, something was different. For 2 straight days he was stuck in bed. Couldn't eat. Couldn't hold down water. By the 3rd day he collapsed in the hallway, pale, sweating, and shaking. My heart dropped. I rushed him to the ER in our car, my hands gripping the wheel like a vice. He barely had the strength to call his job and let them know he wouldn't make it in. We parked in the ER garage, the kind where they give you those little paper tickets to validate your visit. Then I watched them wheel him away, hooked up to fluids, monitors, and meds. I didn't care about anything else. Not work, not schedules. Please let him be okay. The snake slithers in. Meanwhile, miles away, a coworker of his, we'll call her Karen for obvious reasons, was pissed. Why? Because they were short-staffed and now had to cover for him. But instead of venting like a normal person, she decided to take it 10 steps too far. Somehow, still don't know how, she found out where we lived. And that same afternoon, while my husband was hooked up to 4 bags and undergoing a CT scan, she drove to our apartment. She literally showed up to our home, uninvited, unannounced, and completely unhinged. And here's where it gets ridiculous. As she pulls into our complex, she sees a tall man walking across the lot. Light brown hair, around 6 feet 3 inches, carrying a baby. She assumes immediately that it's my husband, except it wasn't. It was our upstairs neighbor. Yes, he looked a little like my husband if you squinted, and ignored the fact that he was at least 15 years younger and carrying an infant. Meanwhile, our kids are in their 30s. But Karen, oh, she saw what she wanted to see, and she marched right back to work and dropped the bombshell. He's faking it. I just saw him walking around outside, totally fine. The accusation. The next morning the phone rings. It's my husband's boss. And right away he goes in. We're writing you up for calling out under false pretenses. Your absence caused a staffing issue. My husband's still recovering, groggy and weak. But he sits up, frowns, and asks, "What are you talking about?" That's when the boss spills it. Karen told him that she saw my husband at home, walking around looking fine. The implication, that he lied to take a day off. Big mistake. Now, my husband isn't usually confrontational, but this was next-level disrespect. "So, let me get this straight," he said slowly, voice cold. "You're threatening to punish me because someone drove to my house without permission and spied on my family?" The boss stuttered, said he just trusted what Karen told him. If we could prove we were at the ER, he'd maybe drop the write-up. That's when my husband snapped. "Oh, you'll get proof. And then you'll get a call from HR. Receipts, baby." We didn't waste a second. We called HR immediately and filed a formal complaint. Then we sent everything. The time-stamped ER parking garage ticket, part of the hospital discharge paperwork, the exact time of arrival and release. Everything lined up perfectly. And oh, our upstairs neighbor, more than happy to confirm he was the one outside that day. Corporate karma arrives. A week later, every employee in the building got a memo. It explained, very clearly, the laws regarding sick time in our state. That management had no right to ask for medical details. And more importantly, employees are strictly prohibited from spying, visiting, or contacting coworkers outside of work regarding their sick leave. Then came the meeting. My husband was called in. alongside his boss and Karen. Also present, the department head. And from the look on his face, he was not there to play nice. The roasting. The meeting was brutal for them. First, the department head looked directly at Karen. You drove to a coworker's house because you were upset about staffing? You then misidentified someone, accused an innocent man of faking a medical emergency, and nearly got him punished? Karen mumbled something about the man looking like him, and that she was just frustrated. Then the boss tried to back her up. She's been with us for a long time. I just believed her. Because then the rail bomb dropped. Turns out, Karen had access to employee information, because the boss regularly let her use his computer. She'd seen private records, addresses, schedules, all because of his negligence. The department head, furious, he turned to my husband and said, "You're free to go. And I offer my deepest apologies." Later we found out, Karen was immediately terminated. The manager, demoted, moved to another department far, far away. And my husband, his record, clean, his dignity, restored. And that validation, so damn satisfying. Karen tried to ruin my husband's career based on a lazy, reckless assumption and a whole lot of nerve. She thought she was untouchable. She thought being right mattered more than being ethical. But in the end, the truth showed up with a timestamp and a hospital wristband. Her own jealousy, her entitlement, and her total lack of boundaries became the very rope she used to hang herself professionally. Sometimes the most powerful revenge isn't shouting or fighting back. It's letting people dig their own graves, then handing the shovel to HR. Boundaries matter. Truth matters. And when justice finally shows up, it hits harder than any lie ever could. If this story made your blood boil and gave you chills when karma hit back, smash that like button. Tell us in the comments. Have you ever watched someone get exactly what they deserved? We want to hear your stories too. And don't forget to subscribe for more real stories of drama, betrayal, and the sweet sting of revenge.